Now, Shincheonji Church of Jesus, an international Christian organization established on the 14th of March, that is in 1984, celebrating 42 years today, or 42 years rather, and the organization collaborates with government institutions, schools, and civil society stakeholders to implement impactful projects that benefit local communities. And now to share more on this particular organization, I'm joined in studio by Macarius Shimi. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Nice to meet you, and thank you for having me.
All right. Very interesting name. I hope I pronounced it correctly. Yeah. Shincheonji. Yes. What does that actually really mean? And just highlight, just talk to us about what it means and how it was established.
Yes, so Shincheonji is actually a Korean word, and it's actually from Chinese characters, and it means new heaven, new earth, basically. So the organization itself is a religious organization, which is a church, but of course it has a volunteer arm, which is the Shincheonji volunteers, which are of course very active in Namibia. This church was of course established 42 years ago, as was mentioned, on the 14th of March in 1984, a long time ago. But of course in Namibia it was established in 2015, roughly around 10 years ago to be exact. Of course its establishment was based on the dedication and the heart of various believers that came from South Africa. They came here and they did this work, and that's how of course the organization was established in Namibia, and it's been existing for over 10 years. Yes.
I mean, as earlier highlighted, it was also established to implement impactful projects and to collaborate with stakeholders to address some of the challenges as well. Just talk to us about some of the highlights for your organizations and what has been the achievements and impactful projects.
All right. So, of course, we do have international level achievements, and we also have regional level achievements as well as national level achievements. So on the international spectrum, we were able to get a Guinness World Record for 71,000 people that were able to donate or basically register for blood donation in 24 hours, basically. This was done as an initiative to support the blood shortage that was incurred in many, many countries, but specifically this was in South Korea because of the COVID pandemic that took place in 2020, 2019-2020 basically. And Southern Africa, we were able to also receive a very, very wonderful award of being the best volunteer association within the nation of South Africa, do various activities that were done, and that was of course last year. And here in Namibia we also received numerous awards from the Namibia Blood Transfusion Services, and this is because of our commitment and our dedicated contributions to the blood donation agency and ensuring that there's no such issues in our country. And it's of course coming from the hearts of the people that are actually part of this organization, which are all volunteers, and they feel the need of wanting to serve and making sure that every single aspect of the community is actually taken care of. And this was one of the ways that we also do it. Regarding stakeholders, we have a very good relationship with various municipalities as well as councillors, even established organizations like anti-corruption, the city of Windhoek. So we work close hand in hand with them to try and ensure that we're able to bring specific impacts within the communities. Yes, and yeah, I'll of course share a bit more. For example, we started the initiative of riverbed cleanups. This initiative was started because of the amount of crimes that were being committed, and we realized that if the environment is different, then the chances of crimes being committed is actually less. And that's now one of the initiatives that we've been really trying our level best to push, and also make it something that's sort of a community-based, and that can also impact the people in the community and allow them to take ownership of their own environment and ensure that safety becomes something that is of a priority.
And how is the response from the community actually?
Well, the response is always beautiful. I think one thing that I realized about the Namibian people, they really love being cared for, basically. Even if you come there without funds or anything like that, as long as you're able to do something for them and just show them a different side of life, they are usually really grateful, and they're also eager to participate. An example I can give is a riverbed cleanup that we did at behind the People's Primary School. So when we went there, it was quite a few of us, just the volunteers, but of course many more started coming, and eventually the community members also started joining, and they were really happy that we were there, and they took the initiative actually. Young, old, and even the little ones were also there. So it was quite a moving, scene for me to actually witness as well.
I mean, just given the impact and the contribution for the community from the organization, of course, this doesn't come easy, and of course, that's why emphasis of collaboration was also mentioned. But just talk to us about some of those challenges and setbacks faced when carrying out this
Yes, of course, like any organization, there's always opposition. Yeah, it's something that we always have to go through, and it's something that we cannot really like run away from.
Shy away from, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the biggest ones that we always have is people having misconceptions and understandings of who we are. So they basically form opinions based on what they've heard.
Because of it also being religious and so
Exactly, yeah, because, oh, you're religious, you're here to come take us, you know, and stuff like that. But they don't really get an opportunity to get to really understand what we are doing or who we are or why we're even doing what we are doing, basically. And because of that, somehow, somewhere, we always find ourselves like having to always push harder to prove ourselves as well. But we are not really like deterred by that because our hearts are built on hope, and that hope always gives us the energy to push forward and persevere through all these difficulties as well. Yeah.
I mean, nationally, this was established, let's say, a decade ago, like
Yes.
you highlighted. Just
Yes.
talk to us about the celebration. What is it centered around, and how you will, you know, celebrate and further, you know, make an impact with your contributions as an organization.
Yes. So 10 years ago, like I mentioned, of course, it was established here. But of course, the celebration that we are doing now, the 42 years celebration, is of course for the establishment of the Shincheonji Church of Jesus, right?
Yeah.
The church itself. Of course, without that, then the volunteer branch would not be existing, right? So for us here in Namibia, we are celebrating these 10 years with a heart of gratitude and thanks as well to all the stakeholders and the people that are actually with us on this journey. I think no matter how much determination we have, we cannot really do anything without the government officials that worked with us, without the councillors and all the people that were on board with the actions and the things that we actually did. So we are, of course, going to be doing something special for them, a little, but it's going to be showing a heart of gratitude towards them as well. And apart from that as well, we would have a lot of members gathering internally to really celebrate the 42 years and also the 10 years that we have existed here, because it's something that really shows the determination that we, especially those that are like youthful and even the elderly as well, have shown for the past 10 years basically. And that really gives us a lot of hope that we can actually do more. And that's why for this year, we also have a lot of projects that are outlined. And we're also trying to, you know, get more stakeholders involved and also just not work by ourselves, but be able to bring the people on board, like many people on board, organizations and various institutions as well. And yeah, but as time progresses, we'll also be able to provide more information, but there is a lot of cleanups that are going to be happening. Like I mentioned, we're also going to be collaborating very closely with career guidance organizations, and we're hoping that can also bring a lot of impact in the hearts of the youth, and also collaborating with the Anti-Corruption Commission as well. We did have an event last year, but we're also going to have another one this year, and we want to make it bigger. Yeah. So those are
And what did that event entail, last year's
Oh,
one?
last year's event. So it was an opportunity for the basically school children, people in high school specifically, just to get an opportunity and understand the Anti-Corruption Commission itself, understanding the effects of corruption in the community, basically just trying to basically counter corruption before it even starts in their hearts while they are still at high school. It was a very good initiative, and a lot of people really, really loved it, and yeah, they actually suggested that we make it for the whole nation, because we only did it in Windhoek last year. So they suggested that no, it must go out to the whole country, because it's one of big issues that we have in our country as well. But yeah, so that's how it was, and the impact was really beautiful to see how the children were able to understand that corruption starts at a very young age, and if you're not really cognizant about it, then you might end up like becoming a certain kind of person, having a certain kind of culture that trundles on to basically affecting a whole nation, basically.
Absolutely. I hear much emphasis being placed on volunteering and young people's involvement. So how can they actually join the movement? What are some of the requirements?
Yeah,
or
so
they just come today to the church and say, yeah, I want to be part of this.
Yeah, so they don't come to the church, yeah. So the church is separate.
Okay.
Yeah, the volunteers organization is
It's a
also
difference,
separate.
okay.
So we don't try to mix them, because again, one of the misconceptions that usually come up is that, you're just coming to help us because you want us to come to your church and things like that. But of course, that's not the case. So regarding the volunteer arm, how members or people can actually participate in this, they can actually participate by just coming and engage and volunteer at Shincheonji Volunteers events, basically. You can contact us on the numbers that, of course, I'll be providing after this session. But yeah, all requirements that are needed is not really a lot of stuff. We just need a person that has an open heart and that is willing to change society, that is willing to give themselves more to others than to themselves, basically, because that's what it's take. And more of a sense of sacrifice. If one sacrifices and wants to really be there for the nation, now in Namibia, this country that we love so much, then yeah, you are more than welcome to come to us, and you don't need any sort of requirement, qualification, or whatsoever. Just bring your heart, and then we'll do together the work. Yeah.
I mean, we also see young people, facing a lot of challenges.
Yes.
Like you highlighted, the crime, also just psychological issues as well. Does the movement perhaps offer any assistance in this regard?
Yes, definitely. I myself, I'm not really a person that didn't have any challenges in life.
Absolutely.
I had quite a lot of challenges, losing even my parents and things like that. I think that's the kind of, it's the worst that can happen to a young person, because it, of course, sets the path on which you walk, basically. But there are also many other things that people go through, especially the young generation. And today, we have a lot of unemployment, especially in our country. We have a lot of, alcohol abuse to a certain extent, and a lot of other things that are, of course, like plaguing issues within the community. And these issues are, of course, not just coming out of nowhere. They are coming as a result of the specific environments that we are in, right? So, and of course, the specific situations that we experience in our lives, basically. For us, challenges will always be there, and that's something that all Shincheonji volunteers members have as a mindset, but we don't necessarily use it to, basically, how do I call it, give up, but we use it as a fuel for us to actually persevere and endure. We use it to create resilience in the hearts of all the people that are working with us, so that they can have the desire to do better, basically. Like, for example, we can come to a specific place and everybody will be speaking about how the government doesn't care or the government is not doing anything. We come and we do something about it, basically. And when the government sees us doing something about it, they will have no other choice but to do it, to help, basically. And that's something that we, of course, try to help every single individual that comes to us to kind of have a heart of as well. And challenges are needed, because they give us purpose. And purpose is hope. And that hope is what we hold on, especially for us. Of course, within our community, it's, of course, faith-based, but it's more than that. If a person is seeking purpose, then, of course, I believe that they can be able to find it by volunteering with Shincheonji volunteers.
Well, that's encouraging.
Yeah.
Well, just finally, as we conclude, you highlighted perhaps how people can reach out to the church.
Yes.
Maybe provide some of the contact details, or perhaps email on how people can reach out.
Yes, so of course the contact detail that we have so far is, maybe I can just say it out. And then,
sure.
Yes, so it's 081 63 74 916. Yes, so that's the contact detail of the regional supervisor. And once you contact him, then of course he'll be able to guide you to the right channels, and also get you to participate in all the activities that are coming up. And yeah, we are hoping to really receive a lot of calls so that we can build a better Namibia, basically.
Any platforms on social media? I think that's also easier access for some people who may not have gotten the number.
Yes, so we do have an Instagram channel, but of course that Instagram channel is run at the regional basis, because it's for the whole of Southern Africa. So you can find us on Instagram as well, but you just have to search SCJ Volunteers.
All right.
And then that's about it, and then we can do the work together.
All right. Macarius, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and all the best with the celebration as well.
Thank you so much, and it was wonderful having me.
All right, and that was Macarius Shimi. He is a representative of the Shincheonji New Heaven, New Earth Church of Jesus Christ. Of course, she's talking to us about the organization's 42nd anniversary and how people can actually volunteer to impact the community. Do stay tuned to Namibia Connects.